So the major committees are, first is the Union Power Committees, which is headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. Second one is the Union Constitution Committee, which is again headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. And third is the Provincial Committee, which is Constitution Committee, which is headed by Sardar Patel. And Drafting Committee, which is heading by the B.R. Ambedkar. So, Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities and Tribal and Executive Area. This committee was headed by Sardar Patel, and this has five subcommittees. First one is Fundamental Right of Subcommittee, J.B. Kripalani. Second is Minority Subcommittee, H.C. Mukherjee. Third is Northeast Frontier Tribal Area of Assam, partially excluded area of subcommittees, Gopinathan Barodari. And fourth one is exclusive and partially excluded areas other than those in Assam, subcommittee A.B. Thakkar, and Northwest Frontier Tribal Area subcommittees. Sixth, Rule of Procedures Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Seventh is State Committee, which is headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. And eighth is Steering Committee, which is headed by Dr. Rajendra. These committees we will study one by one. So minor committees. So in that we will study Finance and Staff Committee, which is again headed by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Credential Committee, Aladi Krishna Swami Iyer. Housing Committee, these are minor committees. B. Patabi Sita Maya. Fourth is Order of Business Committee, and this is headed by K.M. Munshi. And Ad Hoc Committee on National Flag, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So, sixth one is Committee of Fundamental and Constitutional Assembly, J.V. Mawalakar. Ad Hoc Committee on Supreme Court, V. Vardhachari. Committee of Chief Commissioner Province, B. Patabi Sitaramaya. Expert Committee of Financial Provision of Union Constitution, Linguistic Provision Committee, S.K. Das. Special Committee to examine the draft Constitution, Jawaharlal Nehru. Press Gallery Committee, Usha Nath. And Ad Hoc Committee of Citizenship, S.V. Vardhachari. It is not an assembly, it is a committee. So, first we will go for the Drafting Committee. As we know, the Drafting Committee is headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So this Drafting Committee is most important committee among the committee we have studies. This was set up in 1947. So this committee was the one who made the draft of the new constitution. So there are 7 members in this committee. First in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he was the chairman. N. Gopalaswamy Iyer, Aladi Krishna Maya Iyer, Swami Iyer, Dr. K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadaullah, and Madhav Rao. But he replaced B.L. Mittal, who resigned due to ill health. So B.L. Mittal comes in place of Madhav Rao, and T.T. Krishna Machari, which replaced by D. Khaitan, who died in 1948. So they prepared the first draft of the Constitution of India, which is published in 1948. And so the people of India were given 8 months to discuss the draft. So once the draft was ready, then this committee gives 8 month time to the people of India to discuss the draft and purpose of amendment. What was the purpose? The purpose is amendment. If they wanted some amendment means some changes, then they can do. So this committee has given them 8 month timeline. So some criticism, suggestion comes. So the drafting committee took less than 6 months to prepare its draft. It set only 141 days. Now we'll study enactment of the constitution. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar introduced the final draft of the constitution in 1948 in the first reading, and the assembly did discussion over it for 5 days till November 1948. So the first time B.R. Ambedkar introduced the draft in the constitution on 4th November 1948, and it took 5 days, that is 4 plus 9 is 9 November 1948 for the discussion. And the second reading, clause by clause, they have read it. This happened on 15th November 1948, and this was added October 1979. So how many changes were made? 7653 amendments were made in the Constitution final draft. 7,653 changes were made, and 2,473 were actually discussed in the assembly. So it's a big number. Second one is the second reading that happened in the constitution. In that 7,653 changes were made, out of which 2,473 were actually discussed in the assembly. Now we will study in the third reading what happened. The draft stated on November 1949. So B.R. Ambedkar moved a motion, the constitution as settled by the assembly be passed. The motion on draft constitution was declared as passed on November 26, 1947. So this draft was passed by the committee. Draft was passed by the committee, not the committee. The constitution passed this draft on 26 November 1949 and received the signature of the members and the presidents. So how many members were there? 299 members were there, and in 299 members, only 284 were actually present on the day of signed of this constitution. This date this is also the date mentioned in the preamble and the date on which the people of India in the Constituent Assembly adopt, enact and gave themselves this constitution. So this date is very important date in the history of India, because this day the Indians give themselves what? The constitution. Next is the constitution is adopted on November 26, 1949. Contained a preamble, 395 articles and 8 schedules. So on 26 January November 1949, this preamble has 395 articles and 8 schedules. This constitution has 395 articles and 8 schedules. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the law minister, called as the pilot of the draft Constitution Assembly. So he was called as the father of the Constitution of India. He was a brilliant writer, a constitutional expert, undisputed leader of the scheduled caste, and chief architect of the Constitution. So India He is also known as modern Manu. So he was called India's modern Manu. So who is called the father of the constitution? That is B.R. Ambedkar. Now, enforcements of the constitution. So Article 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 60, 324, 366, 367, 397, 380, 388, 391, 392, 393 came into force on November 26, 1949. The remaining provisions, the major part of the constitution, came into force on 26 January 1950. So this day referred as to the Constitution of India, the date of commencement, or this date we celebrate Republic Day. Why they have chosen January 26 was especially chosen as the date of commencement of the Constitution. Date of commencement means date of completion of the Constitution, because it is a historical importance. Why? Because on this day, 1930, the Purna Swaraj Day was celebrated, and resolution of Lahore session of the INC. So with that commencement of the Constitution, so Government of India Act of 1935, with all amendment and supplementing the letter of Act, was repealed. The abolition of Privacy Council Jurisdiction Act was, however, continued. So who are the experts committees of the Constitution? So who are the members? These are Jawaharlal Nehru, he was the chairman. He was the expert committee of Congress. M. Asaf Ali, K. M. Munshi, Gopal Swami, K. T. Shah, D. R. Gadgil, Humayun Kabir, K. Santhanam. These are the key committee members of the Congress. Later, chairman proposal, it was resolved by Krishna Kripalani, act as a member and convener of the committee. This committee has two settings. The first at New Delhi from July to 2014, and second at Bombay. So what they discussed? They discussed the procedures to be adopted by the Constituent Assembly, the question of the appointment of various committees, the draft of a resolution or objective of the Constitution to be moved during this session of the Constituent Assembly. On the role played by this committee in the making of Constitution, Gravelin, Austin and British constitutional expert observed. It was a Congress expert committee that set on the route that present Constitution. The committee members working within a framework of the committee scheme made general suggestion about autonomous area, power of provincial government, center, about the issue of princely state and the amending power. These are the things they have discussed in the assembly. So what are the criticisms? So various people come up with various criticisms of this Constituent Assembly. So first one is not a representative body, not a sovereign body, damn time consuming because it took so much time, dominating by Congress because most of the people are from Congress, lawyer politician domination because this constitution was made by the lawyers, and the chairman is also a lawyer. Some people said that it is a domination by Hindu. So these are the criticisms faced by this committee. So important facts that we will study. This is very much important. Please be concentrated here. Elephant was adopted as the symbol of seal. So what they adopt? Elephant they adopt as a symbol of seal. Fine. So B.N. Rao was appointed as the Constitution Advisory of the to the Constitution Assembly. Constituent Assembly. Who was the advisor? B.N. Rao. H.B.R. Iyengar was Secretary of the Constitution Assembly. S.N. Mukherjee was the Chief Draftsman of the Constitution in the Constitution Assembly. Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada. He was a calligrapher of the Indian Constitution. Calligrapher means they made some pictures around the Constitution book. The original version was beautified and decorated by the artists of Santi Niketan, including Nandlal Bose and Bohar Romohar Sinha. So these are some facts of the Constitution. So originally the Constitution of India did not make any provision with respect to the language or a text of the Constitution is Hindi. Later, a provision in this regard was made by the 50th Constitution Assembly. And in this amendment, new Article 394A in the last part of the Constitution, that is part 22, the President shall cause to be published under his authority. The translation of the Constitution in Hindi language. The modifications are necessary to bring it in conformity with the language, style, and terminology adopted in the authoritative text of the central acts. Second is, in every amendment of the Constitution, Hindi is translated into English. So the translation of the Constitution and its every amendment published shall be constructed to have same meaning as the original text in the English. So English to Hindi, this Constitution translated without changing the meaning of the content. So the translation of the Constitution and its every amendment published shall be deemed to be, for all purpose, its authoritative text in Hindi. So now we'll go some table. This is the summary. So British province, 11 provinces were there, in which 292 seats were there. Princely states had 93 seats, and Chief Commission province has 4 seats. Total 389 seats were there in the Constitution. And who won what? Congress won 208, Muslim League 73, and other won 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seats. Total 296 seats. So strength, Hindu got 163 seats, Muslim 80, scheduled caste 31, Indian Christian 6, backward tribe 6, Sikh 4, Anglo-Indian 3, and Parsis 3. So Indian province, Madras got 49, similarly Bombay got 21, West Bengal got 19, United Province got 55, Punjab 12, Bihar 36, CPN barrier 17, Assam, Odisha, Delhi, all got the good number of seats. So Indian state, princely state 70, so in which Alwar 1, Bhopal 3, Gwalior 4, Jaipur 3, that different kind of things. So total 299. So the session of the Constituent Assembly at a glance. First session happened in December 23, 1946. Second session in January 20, 1946. Third session is April 28, 1947. Fourth session, fifth session, sixth session, all July, August 1947. And sixth one is 1948. So these are 11th one is 7th session is 1948 to 1959. 8th session is June 1949. 9th session is July to September 1949. 10th session is 1949, again October, and 11th session is 1949 November. So the assembly meet once again in 1950, January 1950, when the member append their signature to the Constitution India. So these are the table which showing the different time taken by the framers of the Constitution. First, USA, 7 articles are there, in which this take less than 4 months. Canada, 147 articles are there, they took 2 years 6 months. Australia, 128 articles are there, they took about 9 years. South Africa, 153 articles, and they took 1 year. So these are some title. Not so important. Thank you.